children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
How's everybody doing today? How you doing?
How you doing, Mikey?
Yeah.
That's a very tri-state New York reference right there.
I got a Mike and a Mad Dog. It's
How
final,
about that-
guys, folks.
How about that
Tuesday
old
night.
ass intro I found?
Yeah, that
I
was
loved it.
That was old.
That's classic, man.
Yeah. All of us looked a lot less closer to death.
I don't know. I think I look healthier now than I do in that intro.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel healthier.
Well, we're here to talk about death, not life. Because we are going to talk about A24's feel-good movie of the year, Bring Her Back. But before we do that, there's all kinds of stuff to cover. First of all, Dr. Teeth, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing there, Jack?
Just fine.
I think I discovered a movie fear or squeamish thing that I like even less than eyeball stuff. Believe I discovered something.
This is the movie to find it in.
Oh.
And Counterbiter.
My favorite scene of the movie, which we will talk about later.
It's not a good thing to do.
And I'm bringing Sexy back. We're ready to go.
Sexy
And
never left with you around, Jack. Just
I
remember.
tried to bring Sexy back, but I didn't have the receipt, so they wouldn't take it.
That's bad.
Anything new to report?
We got something new, Jack.
Sure we do.
I got the hat on in honor of we finally did a whole episode on Kolchak that is now live for you to watch. 2 hours of nothing but Kolchak with Jack, myself, and Terry M. West wearing the Kolchak hat. And it's a class. That should be a college course. You should get credit for watching that thing.
If you love The Night Stalker, you will enjoy this episode. If you have never heard of The Night Stalker, you will be like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
You're going to want to watch The Night Stalker.
Yes.
That's my guarantee right there. So Monster Men 13. By the way, somebody posted a comment on our final guys, the last episode. I got to read this to you guys. This is hysterical. I saw it just before we got on the show. Just Stained said, so I searched for Hunter Shay, Shay, on Amazon. I know I spelled his last name wrong. And the first authored book that popped up was Tranny 9/11, Dixie's Rise Part 3 by Shay Hunter.
Wow.
There's somebody named Shay Hunter writing insane stuff?
Yes.
In the vein of, what's his name?
It's your Bizarro guy.
Tingle.
Yeah.
I got to buy this book now.
For real.
Like I have to own that. So I'll be getting that when we're done.
Hey, Adam Beckley got a Monster Men hat. He gets a ring. Of the bell.
Oh,
Nice.
Post a picture on Twitter, Adam Beckley.
yeah. Jack and I could split the quarter profit.
What about you, Jason? Anything to report?
I don't think so. Just banging out episodes. Still trying to recover from that last marathon, man. I am hurting.
This is crazy, man.
Pedal to the metal for too long. Like, I'm really feeling burnt out like crazy. So I'm trying to like ease back into it.
You should take a cushy job like air traffic controller and just relax.
Something I could sleep on.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. What about drinking words?
There we go. Bad Sheridan. I always love it when I see he's still alive. He rates the words for us. We say them and you guys ignore them. But anyway, if we say these words, you drink. Jack, words, your words tonight are drowned, dark, and Chucky. Mine are Philippine, shower, and scanners. I'd like to take a shower in the Philippines. Jason's are Foster, knife, and freezer. Hightower. Is Laurel coming on the show that I don't know about?
Yeah, what? Is he just throwing shit at the wall and wait until somebody actually is in here with us?
Maybe he thought we were going to bring her in. Anyway, her words are fork, forking, and forked. And bonus, if any of us say blind, A24, or pool, drink the beverage of your choice.
There's shenanigans going on here because he sent me a news story where he looks like he's trying to feed the drinking words. So
Shenanigans.
it's collusion.
I like it, though.
I do too. All right. Are you guys ready for some final news?
So excited.
Yes.
So excited.
Do it.
It's the news. Yay.
Everybody take a deep breath. Well, first of all, who should sponsor this this news? Who's got a book?
Shea Hunter.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Shea Hunter's Tranny 911. Hopefully, series of books.
Fine bookstores everywhere.
About automobile transmissions.
I'm sure it is.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to report news that is for the horror community, which you guys are a part of, but you're not going to care about this one. But just remember, this news is for everybody, not just you two.
Wow. That's quite a setup.
I
Yeah.
think you're going to know why the second I start. The schedule for the new season of Stranger Things has been published.
Oh, you called it, Jack.
First 4 episodes will premiere on November 26th. The next 3 episodes will premiere on December 25th, which on some calendars is Christmas.
That's a bizarre day to. I guess
And then-
people are home.
The series finale will debut on December 31st, the last day of the year, also known as New Year's Evil.
By the way, how many episodes these release dates? Is this only 3 episodes? 1 on each?
4 on the first one, 3 on the next one, and 1 on the last one. So,
Oh, I still got to watch like
8.
the last 3 of the last season.
and Millie Bobby Brown is 43 next month.
That's her. She's no longer 11. She's 43.
You're going to have her in lingerie on this show, for Christ's sakes.
She looks pretty damn good right now.
She freaking lets it all hang out there, too.
She does.
She's not shy.
Sadie Sink is becoming like the hottest young actress. She's like getting work everywhere. I think she's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Which
Good for her.
Sadie's sink.
So
She's running up that hill. Na, 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 na.
yeah, I saw a clip from last season on Twitter, and they were playing that song. I was like, oh, that's right. That song was like everywhere for 6 months.
But nowhere on the radio in the 80s. Let me just make that clear. No one cared about Kate Bush in the 80s.
No, that's
Or
not true. I
duet
have
with
friends
Peter
who
Gabriel.
love Kate Bush.
Oh my god! Get out of here!
I didn't know
never
you're
met a
talking about.
Kate Bush fan. This is too far in the past for Jason.
He was a
Kate
big
Bush.
George Bush fan and a big Kate Bush fan.
I like a Bush.
In other news, one of the big running stories we have are movies that are now being made into series. And the latest to undergo this will be What Lies Beneath, the Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer.
From like 35 years ago.
You know, that's actually a good one for a series. That's not
Like-
bad.
I think it's a pretty good one to pick. I saw that once when it came out.
It's a really good movie. I like that movie a lot. That's really good. But
I've been
just
meaning
the
to
pacing
revisit
of it is slow. Like I could see you breaking that up. You know,
Wow.
solving the mystery. Interesting.
that came out in 2000.
Wow. Harrison
So
Ford
it's
good being in it?
2025 now. I can't do the math on how old that is.
Damn. All right. That doesn't interest me, but that's okay. Maybe it'll be great.
If you haven't seen it since it came out, you should revisit it. It's good.
Let's take a nice hour-and-a-half movie and stretch it out over 10 episodes. That I don't get.
I get it. They're mining everything that is. If it was a series, it's going to be a movie. If it was a movie, it's going to be a series. And then in 15 years, they're going to do it again.
But God forbid any of it becomes a book. Books!
If it doesn't become a book, Tim Wagner will do it.
Exactly. He's got the rights to everything.
I really wish one of these studios would just put somebody competent in charge who understands storytelling. Like, I feel like it wouldn't take that much to turn this shit around. Just stop remaking every goddamn thing.
It's not
Stop.
going to happen.
It's crazy to say, but I feel like Apple is the only one who's doing new shit. Like, they're actually mining books to make series.
That's true. They are.
And you get Flanagan making something like Midnight Mass, and you're like, hey, look, something new. That was awesome. It could be
Yeah.
done.
Put
It's hard.
Mike Flanagan in charge of Netflix production, for Christ's sakes.
Problem is, if they get like, if you're not a Mike Flanagan, you're whatever, you got a great story, 17 script doctors are going to come and just screw the thing 7 ways to Sunday before it ever hits the screen.
That's why you need somebody good in charge to be like, no, it's good.
Yeah.
You don't need to mess with it.
Hollywood is broken.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Really.
Well, here's something that's a movie that's going to be coming out that is not based on a reboot or a remake, but sounds a lot like an older vampire movie. Elizabeth Olsen is joining Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac in an 80s set vampire thriller called Flesh of the Gods.
Oh, I'm so in.
Interesting. All right.
It's kind of got a hunger
I was
feel
thinking
from
of
that.
The Hunger. Yeah.
And when I saw Kristen Stewart, I was like, oh, Kristen Stewart in a vampire movie that's not Twilight. I wonder if this is going to be like, what was that weightlifting movie where she was like,
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't see that.
We
Yeah.
did a main feature on that.
yeah. There's a lot of different sides of Kristen Stewart, so it'll be interesting to see which one.
I like
There's
her.
others.
I think she's pretty good.
Elizabeth Olsen's great.
Elizabeth is amazing.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
So look, you had me at 80s vampires, so we'll see whether.
Now, if
And
they're
now-
actually going to stick to the 80s vampire formula, we'd get boobs. But I have a feeling that won't be the case.
Please, Elizabeth Olsen.
She's done it before.
Yeah.
She's done it well.
She's got the talents.
She does.
And finally, in drinking word news, we tip of the cap, moment of silence for Ed Gale, the little person who played Chucky in several of the Chucky movies, has passed away at the age of 61. And he also made his movie debut as Howard the Duck. And then
Oh,
he was in
really?
Cosplay and a couple of other ones. Yeah, so
Which is the most horrific movie he's been in.
Yep.
That is such a pile of shit.
so
It's special.
Chucky. Cheers.
Yeah.
Drinking
Dead.
word.
You're dead to the end. By the way, Howard the Duck, I took a girl to see that when you could smoke. Now, this is how old that movie is. And as we're watching the movie, I keep hearing, she's putting her cigarette out on her arm over and over again. I was like, oh, this chick is crazy.
On our first date.
This is our first date. Yep. We stayed together for a while.
Of course you
We
did.
just celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Until she filed her eye teeth.
I
down
got her
for
a
vampire
new
film.
ashtray.
Yeah, she was interesting.
Well, Ed Gale at least got to be in bed with Leah Thompson. So cheers to you, buddy.
Yeah.
When she was
More
trying
than
to
we did.
bang a duck. Literally.
I gotta watch that movie again. It's been so long.
There are duck titties in it.
I see. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, at the beginning. There's a duck, like a female duck taking a bath. And you see, and then he's also reading was it Play Duck or something like that? And there's a
Yeah,
naked
that makes sense.
cocaine, man. It's a cocaine movie.
Is that an SBIG worthy movie?
Yeah, we covered it a long time ago.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. I'm gonna watch it.
I was perplexed the entire time.
Yeah, it was awful. I remember.
That is all the news that's fit the print. Let's go to what we watched.
We have such sights to show you.
Here we are.
We are.
Who would like to go first?
I mean,
I'll go first. Why
there
not?
you go.
Hell yeah. Because I want to talk to you guys about a streaming service that just came out, or at least that I was just made aware of, called Found TV.
I've heard of it.
Let me verify that. Yes, Found TV. It is all found footage movies.
Whoa.
So,
How much is it?
it's free if you can tolerate ads or,
Yeah.
have an ad blocker. But yeah, it's free with ads, or you can pay, I think it's $5 a month, and you don't have to watch the ads, which is pretty reasonable. I mean, that's what Shudder was, I think, when we first found it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to check this out because I love watching these found footage movies, even though I'm almost always disappointed. I dig trying to find them, and I always appreciate seeing somebody who has $8 but really, really, really wants to make a movie. And that brings us to our first feature, Winemaker. So this is kind of an interesting idea about I guess he's an influencer or a documentarian who wants to go up to this vineyard to capture how this guy who's making this really interesting wine, how he goes about his process and makes this pretty good stuff. And of course, shenanigans ensue. It's kind of like a Creep feel, I guess I would say. Not nearly as good as Creep, but kind of what he's going for. The biggest problem with this is it's 59 minutes, and that feels like it's about 45 minutes too long.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is. The story is thin. They kind of walk around the vineyard for a while, then they get drunk, then the guy starts acting weird. But when I say weird, I mean like they'll be like they're getting drunk and the wino? I'm gonna go with wino.
Sounds good.
He'll just like leave the room, and then the guy with the camera just like wanders around for 10 minutes.
They read from the playbook of that Mummy one that we watched recently.
Yes, it was very much like that. Like, can something happen? So that's this movie. Nothing happens for 50 minutes, maybe something like that. And then when it does happen, the acting kind of falls apart. An interesting ending, cool idea. I mean, you don't really see movies taking place in a vineyard, like horror movies. So
Can't think of any.
Fun idea. But I feel like this should have been a YouTube short. Like at 10, 15 minutes, this is a good idea. You can put some fun stuff in there. Good to go. Or you need to put in some chapters of the storytelling. You need to put in a couple gags, a couple scares.
Yeah.
Not just walking around and watch this guy plant flowers and play a guitar and shit. So, cool idea. And again, I always appreciate these movies, even when they're god awful, just because I'm like, it's two guys. They had negative $5 to their names, and they still got a movie made and got it up on Found TV. So kudos to you. But yeah, this is a no.
Wow.
Would have been a good YouTube short.
I just looked up. Tubi picked them up for a series. So get ready.
Winemaker.
Winemaker the series.
Winemaker is going to be a 10-episode series on HBO.
They already greenlit seasons 2 and 3. Oh, it's my turn.
It is your turn, please.
All right. I feel like I should light this cigarello because I am finished with the Scanners movies.
Oh,
I watched Scanner Cop 2 on YouTube. It's free. It's the Scanner Cop 1 and 2 are both on YouTube. I will give them credit for this. They do keep the same guy, so the Scanner Cop is the same. I assumed it would be somebody like totally different. Like the first guy's probably like, I'm not doing this again. But Scanner Cop wasn't bad. This one has the coolest bad guy, I think, in all the movies. He kind of looks like who was the guy from the original?
Ironside.
Yeah. He looks a little like him, but he's got kind of like a conical shaped head, and he's got these weird like Mo Howard bangs.
Nice guy.
He's a scanner who has found a way to suck the essence out of other scanners.
Does he do it the old-fashioned way? Or does he use his hand as well?
They do a lot of this. Shaking heads and, he's shaking his head and the other person's shaking their head.
No.
This movie is worth it for the practical effects of the bodies just drying up and becoming like mummies.
Kind of Life Force?
Kind of like Life Force. Exactly like Life Force. But
is this the villain?
Yeah, this is the bad guy.
Patrick Kilpatrick. He's in so many SBIG movies. He's a freaking legend.
He looks like a really big guy, too.
I don't know.
He looks intimidating.
He's cool.
This movie is from like 95, 96. It feels like an 80s movie. Yeah, right there.
It's totally Life Force.
Practical effects of these people transforming into these husks when he's done with them totally make this movie. Like, I would watch 3 hours of this just if you give me this every 20 minutes. It'd be perfectly fine. And, you know, good old Scanner Cop. He's now elevated. He's no longer a uniform. He's now a detective. He's a plainclothes detective. So he's moved up in the world. And he takes a drug that's not ephemeral that helps him control his scanning without the bad side effects. And naturally, the bad guy hasn't taken his meds, so he's gone completely off the rails. I got to tell you, not a bad movie. Not a single Scanner movie is bad.
I cannot believe that.
Wow.
That blows my mind.
This is actually pretty good. The third one is just amazing. The third one is so off the rails. It's absolutely amazing. And I think they felt like, all right, we can't get any crazier than that. Let's do a level set and create like a cop procedural, which is a great idea if you've got a scanner who can read minds and stop people with their minds. And it's not a Scanner movie unless two things happen, I realized. A head has to blow up, naturally, and bodies have to fly through walls. Like, their telekinetic powers are unrivaled. So I thoroughly enjoyed all 5 of these movies.
I can't believe a movie called Scanner Cop is good. Like, that is
Scanner
unreal.
Cop 2. They were all good. I figured once I stepped off the ledge of scanners, they'd all just be crap and I'd be rolling downhill regretting my decision. No. So you can't go wrong with a Scanner movie. I'm telling you right now.
I cannot believe this.
This podcast is such a service.
We tell you what not to watch and what to go watch. And this is a go watch. And you can catch them all. Between them, I think I used Prime, Tubi, and YouTube. And I was able to, I didn't spend a penny.
You did the Lutsky network.
Hey, whatever you got to do.
Excellent. Let me see. I'll go with my found footage movie since we're coming off of yours, Jason.
Oh, I wish I knew there was a theme.
Yeah. I paid to watch a found footage movie. What I probably could have got a month worth of found TV for. This one's called Project MKHexe, like Hex.
That really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
MK.
It's a 2025, and there are some horror reviewers out there that were putting this on their best movies of the year so far lists.
Sponsored by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a free screener copy.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the thumbnail and was like, all right. So let's see. It's about the guy that's filming its brother has just died. He killed himself, and he was like investigating this conspiracy theory thing, Project MKHexe or HEXE, that whenever they like look for evidence for it, it seems like the evidence immediately disappears and stuff like that. And it leads them to these different websites and different people. And there's sort of a government thing where they may have some kind of weird machine. And is there a supernatural thing? Is it a government manipulating people, mind control kind of thing? This is for the conspiracy theory crowd.
Well, MK Ultra is a big conspiracy theory, so I get that.
Yeah, so Hunter, just knowing that, you'll probably enjoy this movie more than I did.
Right.
It takes big swings. My knock on it is it's close to 2 hours long.
Ooh.
And
Why?
Found
Probably-
footage. Damn.
yeah, like maybe 10 minutes shy of that. And I was feeling the length because I felt like there's a lot of exposition and a lot of setup on this. But it's interesting. And I'd actually be interested in watching it again because I don't think I was paying as close attention to it as I should have been until later in the movie. I kind of just popped down like, okay, found footage movie. What am I eating? That kind of stuff.
What's on my phone?
Yeah, like, and suddenly I'm like, wait, what? Who's that? Again, if you're into like conspiracy theory, they have a low budget and they take a lot of big swings, and I think they're successful with a lot of it. But I think like Hunter, somebody like you who's probably more well versed in what this was inspired by, would like it better than me. I thought it was okay, too long.
Yeah, well, it's
But
perfect. I'm just
interesting.
wasted too much time at going down dumbass rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Me.
So
Wonder
Where'd
if
you
this
watch
is on
it?
Found
I watched
TV.
it rented on Prime for a few bucks.
Oh, okay.
So if I had rented Found TV and watched it with ads, I probably would have liked it.
Look, a subscription to Found TV.
Although
is
if I
the
had to
average
watch that
budget.
with ads, it would have been 1,000 hours long. So
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
Not
$5 is not bad.
yeah, I was entertained. Like I said, pay more attention than I did because at first I didn't realize some of these found footage movies you don't need to pay that close attention to. They're walking along in the
No.
woods and
Some.
yeah,
First, they're driving to where they're going to go walk in the woods, and then things happen.
yeah. So
All right.
interesting, big swing. Looking for something different. This one's worth a look.
Okay. Well, I watched another found footage movie on
my
Found
God.
TV. I have a feeling this is going to be in my next couple weeks unless new shit comes out.
Yeah.
I watched a movie called Godforsaken. Picked because it's an hour and 16 minutes. And I thought, that's a pretty good length for a found footage
Bingo.
movie.
Boy, you were going with the shorties this week.
It's almost like I didn't get movies in for Final Guys until the last minute. And I had to
Oh, crazy.
had to make some choice picks. So this one is also found footage, but it is the opposite of I already forgot the name of Wino movie. Because that one, Winemaker, that one has no money and it's not a big swing. It's just two guys and it's kind of like Creep. I mean, it's as small a budget movie as you're going to get. Godforsaken is also small budget, but swings for the freaking fences. If Winemaker was too slow, even though it was an hour, this needed either less crazy twists or the movie needed to be longer to fill it in.
Wow.
Because there were like 3 or 4 different times in this movie where I was like, wait, what the hell's happening now? Why is this happening? Like, it wasn't hard to follow. It just takes such sharp turns. So at the beginning of a movie, a guy is going back to his hometown because an old friend died. And for some reason, he thought he would record the funeral and the viewing. I don't know why he was recording at the beginning.
Oh my.
But during the church service, the girl gets up out of her coffin and everybody freaks out and runs away. And the girl's kind of screaming a little bit and she seems confused. And then she runs out of the church and disappears. So this guy, thinking, oh, I just saw something crazy, goes back to get his friends who are documentarians who have been trying to make a movie together and brings them back up because they're going to make a movie about the girl who came back to life. The problem is she's missing and they're trying to find her. And when they do is when the movie gets bonkers. Because I'm trying to think of what all I should not ruin, but
Wow. I'm liking
I'll
the
give you
sound
the,
of this.
I'll give you the first thing that I was like, what? When somebody goes up to this girl who's being kept in a basement, and she touches you, you're healed of whatever it is. So one guy was in a wheelchair and all of a sudden he can walk. And someone else has crazy facial scars and they're gone. And so then the whole town is like, holy shit, I gotta go see this girl so she can solve my problems. And the whole town starts rallying around this crazy experience. And then there's like 2 or 3 more off the wall twists that it's cool. This movie is massively let down by the acting. Again, it's found footage, so you kind of expect the acting to not be able to keep up.
Yeah.
But the end of this is so much screaming and crying from the people who are around the cameras that it actually got really annoying. I just wanted to be like, will you shut up? The one, they're just screaming for like 10 minutes. And then they find this other dude and he starts screaming. They're like, you got to be quiet. I'm like, you fucks haven't been quiet for like 10 minutes. So the last real twist to this kind of brought it down because I felt like everything up to then was really unique and I didn't know what was going to happen. And once it gets to the last section, it just kind of becomes a little more formulaic. But still, for a no-budget found footage movie, I love that they freaking went for it. Like, they were like, it doesn't matter if we don't have money. We have a lot of friends in this town, and we're going to put them all on camera doing crazy shit. Nobody can act. Doesn't matter. We're doing it anyway. So, kudos to them. They really went for it. So, it's a good one to watch if you ever thought, I'd like to make a movie. Watch this. These guys did it. They needed some work with the script, but it's solid, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it is probably the best way to put it.
I like bonkers. If
This is
something's bonkers,
bonkers.
I'm in.
This is I love movies that are bonkers with no money because they're like, I don't care. We're trying it.
It's
So.
almost the better way to go. It's very hard to pull off like a straight movie, but if you realize you've got limitations, just go crazy. Go ham.
Yeah, if you had some of the acting in this in like a more dramatic, slower paced movie, it would be much worse.
Right.
But in this, they're running and screaming, and it's like, oh, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think I'm going to watch this.
And on
I
TV,
like,
baby.
I like the
Godforsaken.
length. All right. There's a social media influencer out of the three of us, the guy on top. I know you hate to be called a social media influencer, son.
Damn you.
So I read Feeders by Matt Serafini, who Jack and I had on recently. This book, good Lord, this is about a girl, Kylie, who is, I guess if this was Mean Girl, she'd definitely be one of the plastics. She's always trying to keep up with her best friend, Aaron, who has this big social media presence, and Aaron's trying to get Kylie to do more stuff and follow in my footsteps, and you can be social media famous too. And then one day, one of their friends tells them about this social media app called Monolife that you can't download from anywhere. You have to go to a specific person in a mall at a kiosk, and he'll hook you up with it. And it's like there's the allure of like the strange and forbidden. What is this? So Kylie goes and gets Monolife installed on her phone, and you get very little instructions other than I think you have to post twice a day, or else you'll lose the app. And these people, God forbid you lose an app and lose an audience. So Kylie gets this and she starts experimenting with it and trying to figure out like it's this whole culture of I need likes. I gotta get. I think they call it fist bumps or high fives. I forget what they call it in this. So this is all about social media culture. I will tell you, the characters in this book are effing detestable. Like we talked about this in a lot of movies about people that are just, you're like, who the hell do I root for other than the hand of God to smite them?
For an EMP to wipe out the internet.
Anything, right? But despite that, the story is so compelling that after a while, I was like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And I kind of, after a while, started feeling for this girl, Kylie. Sometimes I wanted to fall down a deep, dark hole. But I don't want to give a spoiler away. But in order to really thrive on this thing, you have to do some really dark stuff. And it could be a paranormal thing. It might not be a paranormal thing. It's crazy. It gets more and more violent and just nuts as it goes along. I was totally wrapped up in this book. I think I read it in like 3 days. And it's like 400 pages, I think. So the story's really good. Matt's really good. I will say This girl, Kylie, she is obsessed with Katy Perry. Like Katy Perry was her goddess from when she was young. And
She
she's
is an
still
astronaut.
Well, here's where I'm sure when Matt saw Katie go up into space and declare herself an astronaut and the backlash, he was probably like, why didn't I pick Lady Gaga? Anybody but Katy Perry. And the funny thing is, I've seen reviewers just kill it because of Katy Perry. I'm like, some people are so toxic, they'll even destroy your own good work. But that's their problem. I personally don't mind Katy Perry, whatever. Feeders is a very good book, y'all. And this is everywhere. This is in bookstores, literally everywhere. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, this isn't a little vanity press. It's Gallery Books, part of Simon and Schuster, I believe. So, if you walk into Barnes and Noble, it's going to be there. So
Nice.
it's a very good, and it's a good summer read. I think it's a good start. Let's kick the summer off with some cool shit horror. So kudos to Matt, man.
Very cool.
Because you made a character that I would normally not want to peek into their life for 30 seconds, and you trapped me. You unzipped me, Matt. You unzipped me.
Very
I'm
well.
getting Monolife on my phone. I just got to find the guy at the mall.
What's a mall?
Well,
Yeah, really.
it's June, fellas. That
Finally.
means that summer is almost here.
Please.
Do you know what summer means?
Heat.
It means bad shark movies are back.
Do they ever go away?
No, but they seem to raise their fin, especially around this time of year. And
Yeah. Close
one
to get to Shark Week.
poked up on Hulu called Into the Deep.
Oh my God, my wife wants to watch this thing.
It's got Scout Taylor Compton from
Mhm.
the Halloween movies, Stuart Townsend, which I
Okay.
didn't even recognize, and a guy was in another shark movie, little known shark movie, Richard Dreyfuss.
What? Holy cow.
So he plays Scout Taylor Compton's grandfather. And when she was a little girl, she had some shark related episodes that she's dealing with as an adult. So he's sort of there as like her coach, mentor,
Yeah.
fatherly figure.
I've been there.
But like he's not going out on the boat with them, and he's not,
How does he
show me
look?
the way. He looks like somebody's grandfather.
We saw him at Chiller over a year ago. He looked all right. I was surprised.
Yeah, it's
How old is he? 80s?
1,000.
It's gotta be. It's
Nobody
gotta be
really
80.
knows how old sharks are, or Richard Dreyfuss.
He can't stop either. He just has to keep walking around.
So this one, her and her boyfriend or husband and some friends are going out on some sort of excursion on the water, and they encounter pirates, and there's sunken drugs, and naturally there's sharks in the water. And so there's danger from these pirate guys, and there's danger from the sharks. There's some bad CG. There's
No.
some cheesy storylines. And
No.
then there is this scene that's, I think it's in the trailer as well. It's the movie. If this movie hadn't already been at this level,
Yeah.
it jumps the shark at this moment.
Literally.
I won't tell you what it is, but when you're watching the movie, you'll see it and be like, oh my God. It's trying to be all dramatic and have some weight to it. And it's just the silliest moment.
Does the shark eat John Voight and then spits him up and then he winks before he falls onto
I
the deck
wish.
of the boat?
So all I can say is bad shark movies are back on the menu, boys.
It's funny. My wife saw that and got all excited. She goes, "Oh, we should watch this." I said, "Why don't you watch that with Jack? Because I'm not watching it with you." So I'm glad you confirmed my fear.
She should just pop it on some afternoon
Oh, she
to have it
will.
in the background.
She'll definitely watch it.
When is
But,
Shark Week?
It's like in July, right?
Let's take a look.
Because I need to do a So Bad It's Good shark movie for it at least. At least
Well, there's plenty to choose from.
I don't think I did one last year. I forgot.
July
5-headed
20th,
shark attack.
July 20th through 27th.
There you go.
Beautiful.
I think that's when I plan to take vacation. I don't watch shark movies though. Shark Week, I've never been a big fan of. I don't care.
I used to love Shark Week, but now it's, it's sold out.
I think last year I watched the Jackass crew going after sharks. I was like,
That I'd like.
that one wasn't bad.
When it was first a thing where it was like just, people messing with sharks and just,
Yeah.
it was like that wasn't on 24 hours a day anyway. And it did, like when they had Michael Phelps racing a CGI shark. And,
Yeah. But how much more stuff can we get out of sharks anyway?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, come on.
When we talk about movies for next week, though, there's a badass looking shark movie coming out we need to discuss.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yep.
So that's all I
badass.
got. This one's on Hulu if you're looking for it.
Nice.
Hulu. Anything else?
Done.
9.
Let's hit that main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
This week, we're doing A24's Bring Her Back. I saw this movie 2 weeks ago to sneak preview. Last week, Jason asked me to do a rap for the movie we were watching, and I said no. But this week, I did write a song.
Uh-oh. Do you have music to accompany this?
I don't. I could kind of rap it, or I could kind of sing it.
You want to William Shatner it?
I could. You tell me how you want to hear it.
Do you want music? We have a couple.
He
of
has
No,
music.
because if you play music, it's gonna be hard to.
You got to
fit,
write
I
it to the
think.
music. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think acapella Shatner.
Hey Jack, cut me some slack. I'm here to sing a song about Bring Her Back. Scary little movie from A24 about a little kid possession. So much more. The son is troubled. The daughter is blind. And their new mother, she's out of her mind. So strap yourself in. Be prepared. Because this movie is dark. You're going to be scared. Bring her back.
Wow.
By the way, I
Wow.
hope A24 is watching this, records that, and all previews are just that. Show them nothing. Just listen to Jack Shatner rap it.
Now, C Farmer says, let's get the band back together. That's the thing. Colin and I have done some music stuff together. If we plan our movies out, we could get together and bang out a bunch of these.
Oh, boy.
Do it.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So if you go to just search for YouTube, I think it's YouTube Audio Library. All the songs in there are free. So if you write anything to one of those songs, I can download it and we can use it here on the show.
Let's not get carried away here. Let's just enjoy
on,
that
man.
for now, and we'll see.
Start preparing for Megan 2.0. Just start preparing.
Okay. I'll recap my thoughts after I hear what you guys thought. So, Hunter, what'd you think?
The good thing is I went into this movie blind. I don't even think I saw a trailer for it at all.
I had never heard of it until Jack mentioned it.
I'd heard people talking about it and saying it was devastating. And Adam Caesar was like, it's the best movie I've seen all year. I'm like, dude, you don't want to say clown in a cornfield? But I understand. He wants to be fair. Dude, this movie blew me away. It's great. I mean, if you've got like family over for an event, if you can get this movie and just get the kids together, and every generation can enjoy this. This is not for normies. This is not going to hit for normies. And I could tell just by the reaction of the crowd, which was a pretty sizable crowd. I was surprised. I absolutely, I really love this movie. There were things in it that made me cringe. I mean, physically turn into myself. I was just wondering. It takes a lot for me to wonder what the hell is the end game of this movie and where is this thing going?
Yeah.
And man, I had no idea. I think the performances were great. These two guys, these YouTube guys, just look. I was going to say give them all the money they want, but don't, because when you get all the money you want, you end up making shit, and then you're beholden to the people who gave you money. Give them just enough.
This was 15 million. It feels perfect for these guys.
Yes. I mean, what was the first movie that they did?
Talk to Me.
Talk to Me.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Talk to Me. This movie, I'm a big fan of this movie, but I realize I have to pick and choose who I crow about this to. But I think this was great creeping dread, mystery. Yeah, it was everything. Grief. It was literally everything you could want.
Oh, yeah, grief.
Man, fantastic.
Jason.
I freaking loved this movie. Creeping dread is a great way to describe it, although I'm not sure I'd even call it creeping. I was just sitting there like waiting for something horrific to happen the entire movie. And honestly, that was kind of Talk to Me had a lot of that same quality where you do see some gross stuff and they do have some pretty good gags in it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, these guys are so good at the anticipation of that gag coming that I was just like squirming in my seat a few times. Like, what are they going to do? And oftentimes what happened wasn't even as bad as what I had built up. But
right.
These guys are so good at directing and making dread, man. It's wild. Awesome performances. Really cool story. At the start, I was like, what the hell is this about? Because I didn't even see a poster. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was blown away by this, man. I freaking love this movie. This is yet another one that is absolutely going to make my list. I
completely.
I'm telling you, man, the first 6 months, I don't remember a year since we started the show where I've been this happy with the list.
I'm the same way. I've never seen this many movies on my list already.
Yeah. There maybe aren't as many good, like, just decent movies as we've had in previous years, but the amount of, like, high-end stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, this is damn good.
I'm not on the same page as you as far as that goes, but I will say that this is number one or number two for me. It's like I was saying, Sinners is a horror movie. This is a horror movie.
Yeah.
This is
the Sinners is more mainstream.
Sinners is mainstream.
Like you were saying, you can bring a normie. I suggested Sinners to normie friends of mine, and afterwards they were like, "Oh my god, that was so great! Let's talk about the music and it should get nominated." Blah blah blah. There's no way they could handle this movie. Meanwhile, I'm telling them, I'm like, when Academy Awards season comes around, what's her name? Sally Hawkins is going to get snubbed, just like Hereditary, Toni Collette.
Yeah.
She is so freaking good in this.
Yep.
And at the end of this movie, I was like, this is like A24. This goes like right on the shelf next to Hereditary. And if you start listing off movies, why wouldn't you put this right up there with The Exorcist and other stuff? This movie just is, from a horror standpoint, doesn't pull any punches. It taps into grief. It has scares. It doesn't rely on jump scares. It doesn't spoon feed you anything. You kind of
know.
You know enough of what's going on, but it never sort of overdoes it.
Well, there were times I wanted a spoon.
Yeah,
there were a couple of like, please tell me what's going on.
And then there is a girl with real blindness. I don't know to what extent, but she really has seeing impairment, and she plays a blind girl in the thing. That just adds another layer to this, and knowing that it's real with her is amazing. The other two kids in this movie are amazing. The mute kid, we'll get into it. My God, that kid.
If that was my son, I could never look at him the same way again. I might have to give him up for adoption.
We'll have to talk about some stuff in spoilers. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah. But this movie doesn't pull any punches. Nobody's safe. It's so, I mean, this is like, there's like I feel like Sinners is a special movie. This is a special movie. Then there's some other good movies, but like, I feel like this is like head and shoulders. This is like what I've been waiting for. Like, this is one of those ones you're like, oh, this is a no doubter classic horror movie. And there's going to be people who are horror fans who disagree totally that this wasn't for them. They like Talk to Me better than this.
Yeah,
I get it. For me, I love this movie.
By the way, if you want to learn how to gaslight someone to the point of just them losing their minds, this is the blueprint on how you do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt so bad for that kid, man.
She could write a handbook.
Oh,
yeah. She watched The Rule of Jenny Peg or whatever. Jenny Penn. Whatever.
Jenny Peg. That's a whole different movie, Jack.
Should we go right to spoilers?
It goes out saying all three of us think this movie is just.
Yeah.
This is a home run. Go see this in the theater. I think it has only made like half its budget back, maybe a little more in the first weekend, which doesn't speak well to it making a lot of money. And it should, because people need to keep giving these two money because they know what they're freaking doing, man.
Yeah. $7 million though for like a niche horror movie. I don't know how wide the release was though. It's actually
but it costs 15. Although normally you have to double that for the advertising, but I'm not sure this movie had advertising.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
I never saw any.
No.
Yeah, no, I would say go see it in the theater. And I don't know. You could, I guess, label it as a slow burn at some point. I never felt any pacing with it because I was like on the edge of my seat. It's like, where the hell is this movie going? And then I feel like it does kick into overdrive in like the third act.
Yeah.
But I was never bored. But at the same time, it takes its time setting things up, but you're never bored.
No.
You're glued to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because what's going on, even if you're not seeing it, you're seeing the aftermath in their lives, and you're like, this is dark. And I like at no point was I bored. In fact, I just kept waiting for something horrible to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two main characters, the stepbrother and stepsister, who really love each other. So you are so invested in their safety, knowing that they have both of them. Did they mention that they lost their moms, or did the mothers just disappear?
His dad married her mom. I think they said at one point.
So yeah. So mom and dad.
I guess she died.
So we might assume that, they've lost their at least one parent. And then they lose their father, the man linking them together. And it's just, this is the last thing these two need.
And this is what, 3 out of 4 weeks where I've seen a hog in one of these movies. It's getting out of control.
I said out loud, I'm at the movie theater by myself, and when they showed that tallywhacker, I was like, Jason.
What is happening?
It's the year of the dong.
Can't see boobs, but there are just dicks flying everywhere.
Dicks.
See this one in 3D.
They're rebalancing the scales, my man. So just get ready.
They're making up for the 80s, and I don't like it.
The second half of the year is all nuts.
Oh, shit.
All right. Go see this movie if you haven't seen it.
The bell has
in the theater.
I'm going to reply to Jason Ramirez here, who says it's a possession movie and Jason liked it. It's not possession movies necessarily that I don't like. It's the Catholic priest who has to exorcise a kid who's tied to a bed. That's they levitate.
Have you seen the trailer for the Ritual that's coming out next week with Al Pacino and Dan Stevens?
No.
So it's supposedly based on the case of that inspired The Exorcist, and it's one of those. They play two priests doing the whole exorcism thing.
That's the shit I hate. Somebody being possessed by something like this was amazing. It's just unique.
And also, like Al Pacino playing a exorcist, I feel like if you're gonna make a movie like this, you need somebody who I don't know as the priest, because I immediately am just looking at
Al
this is a
Pacino.
movie.
Yeah.
You know, hooah!
Hooah!
This
Get out
felt
of
like
that
a
boy.
way. This feels like a way
Try
for them
and
to
get the
remake
demon out that keeps going back in.
This feels like a way for them to remake The Exorcist without calling it a remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like
Unbelievable.
to me. So
Well, back to a good movie. So, go ahead, Jack.
No, go ahead. There's so much. I don't even know where to start.
So they get taken in by this temporary foster mom who has this strange boy who she said has selective mutism. And watching the degradation of this child, who is scary to begin with just looking like a boy with a shaved head is scary enough, but what goes on with him is just terrifying.
it's horrible.
The physical transformation that's going on. My favorite thing about him was at one point, because he starts just eating everything he can get his mouth around. When you see his distended stomach in the third, like there's a lot of crap in that stomach right now.
I mean, do you want to talk about? We're in spoilers, so
Yeah.
anybody who's still here, I guess you've been warned. But essentially, this is a woman who has lost her child, and in order to bring the spirit of her girl back, she needs a host that will die in a similar manner to the way her daughter died. But then she has another kid who's been possessed by a hungry demon who then has to eat the corpse of her daughter to complete and then I don't know I've seen this 2 weeks ago, so it's not all fresh in my head. Something like, I don't know if he has to throw it back up into her or
A little bit of it, yeah. Yeah.
By the way, was he possessed by did she say a demon or an angel?
She
question.
said an angel, but it doesn't seem like an angel.
It doesn't seem like an angel until you think about biblical angels that are absolutely terrifying. And
I kept thinking of a dark song when I watched this movie.
Oh, you can't not
Yeah.
think about a dark song with this movie. But just the whole concept of I have to trap a demon or an angel inside a little boy who's going to degrade and turn into a creature that's going to eat my dead daughter's frozen corpse so I can murder another girl and he will put her spirit in her body. Sounds crazy, but I also thought if one of my daughters had passed away, and I really thought about this for a while, I said to my wife, I would burn the world and every man, woman, and child in it just to get our kid back.
I'm glad you said that,
understand why she was doing what she was doing,
because it colors her character so well, and it's a commentary on the ending, because she's freaking evil through all this, but she is motivated by the love for her kid, and she doesn't care who she hurts in the process. But then at the end of the movie, it's just taken its toll on her, and
yes,
she runs out of gas,
And she's losing her mind in the build-up to that. She's just screaming incessantly towards the end of it. And she has a great scream, by the way. She sounded badass.
Yeah, she does.
And this
She
is
was really
that,
losing.
that petite, cute little pixie from The Shape of Water. And now she's like this monster.
That's her. I was like, what the hell do I know this woman from? The Shape of Water.
That's why she looks so good in the water. She thought she was going to get laid. Oh, my God. But I could get why she's becoming unhinged as this goes on. And I don't think she was evil. I think she was desperate and broken. I think that's why she did it. And she's also was a therapist for children, foster children. So she knew how to play the game and mess with kids' heads, because she learned from what had happened to them from
Sorry,
other
dude.
people.
That's evil.
I guess.
There's no guess.
I'm speaking as a dad. I'm like, there's no limit. There's no line in the sand for me if I knew I could get my kids back.
You would do evil to get your kids back, but it's still evil.
I would just call it a necessary thing.
Sure.
That's how I justify it.
You're talking about the kid who's possessed kind of falling apart. After he's eaten some of the corpse of the dead body, and his head starts getting bulbous and distorted. I'm like, Jesus, like somebody help this kid.
That kid ate a knife, a counter, a corpse.
His own arm.
His own arm. Oh, big long strips of his arm.
Oh.
But the knife scene, when he's gnawing on that knife, and it's going up into his gums, I almost lost my mind. I had to look away.
And that moment, I mean, I knew I was watching a good movie, but when I was like, oh, this movie's like up here. Like I'm watching an amazing horror movie. Like this just Emerald just bammed this and it kicked it up a notch. Like
and this is why you watch in the theater. I couldn't get away from the knife in the mouth thing. It's 20 feet high and the sound is everywhere around me.
Yeah.
And then, when he was biting the counter and chipping his teeth off. Holy cow.
Now the son, the older brother.
Yeah.
First of all, you guys are authors. There's sort of this unwritten rule of like, leave kids alone in horror. This movie's like,
yeah.
Yeah. What a big surprise, too.
Yes. The way that ended was... There's no build up to the moment. It was just like, oh, there we go. It's wild,
I was
man.
shocked. Not at the level of like Hereditary, but close.
The whole theater reacted.
Because you were like, wait, he's supposed to happy end. What the?
He's the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact when he didn't die from getting hit by the car, and then she just finishes him off by just pushing his head in a puddle. I'm like, horrible ending.
But she's not evil.
No, again, I would drown that mother effer if I had to.
You'd throw pee on him to manipulate him.
I'd poop on him too. Whatever I had to do. Look what you've done. You pooped outside your pants again in your sleep.
When the sister is running and she's blind and she like whacks into the thing, I almost cried. I just felt so bad for her. I was like, oh, I wanted to jump into the movie and take care of her. Like, my God, you can't see. You have this monster chasing you. Like this movie did such a great job with the tension.
They did a good job of making her kind of autonomous too. The fact that she didn't like to use a cane, and that scene where she was playing blind dodgeball or whatever that was, shows you, all right, she's got some daredevil skills.
And talking shit while she's playing.
Yeah. It was awesome. She was such a cool kid.
So the boy, the conduit, when he was alive at the end, I was like, this kid, if they ever make a sequel to this movie, which I would probably not be for, but you have to make it what happens to that kid after this movie, because he is fucked up.
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
Physically, mentally, like this kid is not okay.
Well, we do know he needs dentures.
He needs a lot.
His stomach went down, though. Did he, like, poop everything out?
He was puking it up in one scene.
Oh, okay.
He started puking.
Puking up those
whatever that circle was, salt or white paint, I don't know. But I like the fact that they were dealing with the consequences of going outside of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Which honestly was probably my only real complaint with the movie is what the main woman, the villain, is dealing with and trying to do, and she keeps leaving this kid alone, not like tied to a bed, is ridiculous. She wouldn't just be like, "Oh, just stay here." Yeah, you're breaking down and losing your mind, and it's fine. I'm going to go out and we're going to play some dodgeball for a couple
I guess
hours.
she wasn't worried. She goes,
I feel like she was in over her head, though. She felt like, oh, it'll be okay. It's...
Dude, she's learning how to do this by watching some VHS tapes.
Some Russian imported VHS tapes. Oh, that's the other one that I wouldn't mind seeing. What the hell was that? The Russian cult.
They don't explain that at all.
What was that shit? Can we get a movie about that?
I'm like, was that a red herring?
Jason just approved a prequel.
Well, only because we don't know what happened. We
Right.
have no concept of what that was.
But I thought maybe she was in that cult.
Nope.
But no. She
Nope.
was just she got their how-to tape
Yeah.
and was using it. It's crazy.
She's like, oh, rubbing the forehead. I'll do that.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I loved. It was like watching a YouTube video to try and fix your garage door opener. Like, wait, pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so weird. But man, this is an emotional movie, man. There's a lot of emotion in the movie, and it evokes a lot of emotion in the viewer.
Yeah, I mean,
a tough one.
there's other movies with similar sort of plots and themes, like A Dark Song, that I was like, wow, what a double feature that would be.
Gut wrenching.
Happy Go Lucky.
And I liked Talk to Me, but that movie is so light compared to this, and that movie is pretty friggin' dark. But it's more gimmicky. It's
More
a little more
teenagery.
fun. Yeah. There's a fun aspect to it, but still, like, it was darker than I thought, because I thought it was just going to be a total gimmick movie, and then I was like, oh, this is actually a higher quality horror movie than I expected. This, I'm like, these guys, they're swinging with the big boys on this. I hope
Would you say
they don't never change.
Would you say they're cooking with gas?
Yeah, cooking with gas, baby.
Yeah, I think that works.
I'm so glad I went in not knowing anything either.
I tried to not say much when I was reporting back on it. I was just like, just go see it. Trust me, just go see it.
I have a question to ask. Are there any post-credit scenes?
No. I didn't stay, but I looked it up.
Me too.
There was a woman that was sitting a few rows behind me who at one point sneezed, but it sounded like every piece of snot in her body came out when she sneezed.
Hmm.
And then all I hear is her vomiting copiously into her popcorn bag.
Oh.
And she just keeps sneezing and coughing and vomiting. And I'm thinking, why don't you get the fuck out of your seat and go to the fucking bathroom? But no, she stays there. So I'm like rows away, but I'm thinking, if the smell hits, I'm out of here. I'm like, this one's got to end. And as soon as it went to black, I bolted out of that theater. And I was joined by another guy. We were like talking about the movie. He goes, oh man, he goes, that smelled so bad. I was sitting closer. I was like, why didn't she get out?
What an asshole.
Oh, it just I was like, oh my God.
Dear God.
She didn't want to miss the ending.
No. But the sneezes. I thought when she sneezed, I thought of like a snot bubble like hanging out of her nostril about the size of a bowling ball.
Well, ever since I saw Outbreak, I can't. Anytime somebody's coughing or sneezing in a movie theater, I'm like, oh, we're all getting Ebola.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, all right, I'm pretty far away from any disease microparticles. But yeah, I had to run out. So I was like, if there's a post-credit scene, I miss it.
Nope. 1:30 in the afternoon on Mondays, baby. Only person in the theater.
So I wanted to do the 9:30 a.m. showing. But stuff happened at home. I couldn't get to see it early.
Your theater's open at 9:30 a.m.?
This is the first time I've seen them do morning movies. And I thought this would be so cool to see a hardcore horror movie at 9:30 in the morning. But next movie.
Beautiful.
Speaking of next time, there is a shark movie called Dangerous Animals that comes out this weekend.
I've heard about it.
Jai Courtney as a... Have you seen the commercial?
I saw the trailer, yeah.
I did not.
So it's kind of a serial killer / shark movie. And did you ever watch Tacoma FD?
No.
Yes.
Tacoma FD, Jason, is like the best show. It's the blonde girl from
she's
Tacoma
adorable.
FD. Yeah, she's the lead in it.
I like this.
Harrison or something like that. So that's my vote for next movie.
If it's in the theater around here, I'm seeing it.
It looked torture porny to me, just from the trailer. Maybe it's not, but I got big torture porn vibes from it.
Well, torture porn is what brings you in. It's what makes you
Well,
stay. It's got to be something else.
The other new release is the Al Pacino Exorcist movie.
All right, Dangerous Animals. Okay.
Yeah.
let's,
Fuck you.
Hooah!
Hooah.
Is that going to be a wide release? The Dangerous Animals.
I'm pretty sure. Let me check my.
I hope so.
Let's see.
Saturday, Jack, I'm going to be at that cryptid paranormal convention with Lyle Blackburn.
Oh, nice.
So I guess I'll go see this. Maybe if I could see it at 9:00 Sunday morning, that'd be awesome.
It is playing by one theater near me. Not great times, but it is there. So
we can check in later in the week and make sure everybody's
pencil it in, and we'll ink it later.
We'll pencil it in.
I like that.
Cool.
Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be near me.
Summertime's coming. Shark movie. The absolutely pretty girl from Tacoma FD. Come on. Torture porn. I hope there's penises. I don't want to see it if there's no penises.
I'm getting sick of this shit.
At the very least, give me like a tight pair of, banana hammocks so I could tell what religion they are.
Oh yeah, it's playing near me, so giddy up.
All right,
I'm
good.
seeing it either way.
I'll find a place.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Okay, so look, your homework is go see Bring Her Back.
Yeah, if you don't, stop watching our show. Let's throw it out there. All right.
This is the litmus test.
This is it. Stop watching Final Guys. Move all your money to Monster Men. No, I'm kidding. Don't watch us either. We suck.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.